need to understand the simulation. Everything you feel is not real, and everything you see is an illusion. Everything you're experiencing is a simulation produced by your nervous system. This laptop is not solid, it's just a bunch of atoms placed together. And the reason my finger doesn't go through the laptop is the electrical fields of the atoms in the laptop are repelling the electrical fields in my finger. What you feel when touching something is your nervous system decoding the electrical waves that you've come into contact with. You're not feeling the external world. You're feeling electrical impulses decoded by your brain. They'll never tell you this, but your brain is an energy decelerator. Everything outside of you is energy. What you see is your brain slowing down this energy outside of you into a visual image that you can perceive. Everything outside of you is fake. The only thing that is real is your consciousness. Material world trick, matrix. Hindus call this Maya, the illusion of the world. Kabbalists call the world the veil that hides your soul. And the reason why the world's so lost and depressed today, because we're looking for ourselves in the outer world. None of the short-term pleasures that the material world offers can ever satisfy your soul. True happiness comes from within. Stop seeking validation in your outer reality. Go within yourself and find happiness within. The solution to the world is meditation. Did you know the sun setting is the symbol for Libra? And the scales of Libra represent the balancing of the sun between the summer and the winter. A yearly cycle is a daily cycle. Spring is the morning, summer is midday, Libra is the evening, winter is the nighttime. And did you know your body is ruled by the zodiac signs? Libra rules your core, and the muscles in your core help anchoring your center of gravity, which gives you the ability to balance yourself, just like how Libra is the balancing scales. There's no way this is all just a coincidence. This is evidence that we live in a beautifully designed world. That the sun's rhythm and balance manifested in your body as the balancing core. And this is why wisdom is wealth. Kendrick Lamar with the A on his chain, with the American flag. This has a deep meaning no one has figured out. A represents Alpha, the beginning of the Greek alphabet. Alpha represents new beginnings. Omega represents endings, because it's the last letter of the Greek alphabet. At the end of the show, it said game over, because the old world is now over, and Kendrick Lamar held the ceremony, which is a ritual representing the new beginning of America. This is why the dollar bill has an omega on it, representing the end of fiat currency. This picture is deeply symbolic. Everything they do is code. Elon with the omega representing ending and him waving goodbye. And Trump, which is the new beginning, the alpha with his thumbs up. The new beginning of America, 2024, 24, the 24th letter of the Greek alphabet, omega, the ending. This was the last year. 2025 is a new beginning. Everything is going to be reset. This is just one of my lectures from the new Symbolism Masterclass. In this class, I will teach a limited amount of people every single occult and esoteric symbol one by one and show you real life events. This opens on the 19th of February, 8 p.m. GMT. Join my Telegram or my newsletter in my bio to secure your spot. The spots will go instantly. You will have to be quick. This is why the church tells you not to do yoga. The nervous system stores emotional trauma. For example, you're in a car crash. Just before you crash, your body starts to tense up in the anticipation for the impact. The nervous system stores this tension, and your nervous system has stored every sensation you've ever had. Over time, all of these tensions can manifest into a physical problem such as back pain, joint aches, and even disease. Yoga is highly effective from releasing stored trauma from the nervous system before it can manifest into any problems. You know that amazing feeling you get after stretching? That's all of your trauma and negative energy being released from your nerves. Yoga does not open demonic doors into your consciousness. It's just another fear that the church installs to you, so you stop increasing your consciousness.
Did you know that the beginning of the new year is actually on April Fool's Day? When the sun enters Aries, this is when nature springs back to life, symbolizing the start of a new life. The Passover is celebrated by the Jews and they eat lamb because this is when the sun has now passed over the winter and hit Aries, the lamb. Christians celebrate Easter, which is the resurrection of Jesus. Jesus is the sun, hence why he has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs, 4 gospels for spring, summer, fall and winter. Jesus is known as the light of the world, the sun of God. They want us out of rhythm with nature. This is why they changed the new year to be in Capricorn when everything is dead, and then created April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day is the real New Year's. Link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom.
This sign is not the devil horns. It's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. See the man standing on the moon. This represents conquering the emotion, and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time, and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions, and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the five senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal, in a digital footprint of your mind. iPhone, you refer to yourself as I, which is the eye of consciousness, is being manifested digitally into your phone. That's why Siri rearranged is Iris, and this is your iris. Every text you send, every call that you speak, and every search that you do is being stored and being fed into an artificial consciousness called AI. Everyone in the world has manifested their invisible minds into a carbon footprint, which has now created an artificial consciousness which is running off the algorithms that we have created. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. If something is free, you are the product. They all have two O's because they're watching you, they're collecting your data.
Your mind transcends time, space, and matter. It exists outside of the physical world. The mind is eternal and has infinite potential. Nothing is impossible with the mind. In the realm of imagination, you can manifest anything you desire at the click of a finger. You incarnated into physical matter to restrict your mind, to teach you a lesson. You now have to exchange labor and energy to manifest your desires in the physical world. Stop worrying whether you have a soul or not. This is a psyop created to keep you away from finding the true powers of your mind.
There's a secret code behind every ancient Christian painting. You're probably not going to be a Christian after watching this. When we add spheres to each one of these points on this Holy Trinity painting from the 1600s, what it actually shows is the Kabbalah tree. This is literally undeniable. You cannot not see it once you see it. Religious texts are encoded esoteric scriptures. In fact, every religion we have today stems back to the secret teachings of the Kabbalah. You think you're the body. We are not our body. We are not our thoughts. We are the soul. We have a soul, mind, and body. Jesus is the body. The Father is the mind. The soul is the Holy Spirit. Did you know your heart is not actually a pump? The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a seven-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the fourth state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged as earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. Diddy was a full moon ritual, let me break it down. He was arrested on the 16th, which that night was a full moon. Moon is our subconscious, and on a full moon, our subconscious is more open to programming. This is why you see the symbolism of witches with a full moon behind them. Because casting spells and creating reality is all to do with reprogramming the subconscious. This ritual could have been done to implant a certain message into your mind. If you do not control your conscious mind, then the subconscious moon will. Whatever you do, never drink alcohol or smoke green on a full moon. Freemasons always place the east at the top of their artwork. I'm going to decode the symbolism for you. At the bottom of the painting we have checkered board floors. This is the base, this is the beginning. Black is material, white is spiritual. The physical world is made by spirit and matter combined. This represents the beginning of the Mason's journey when he lives in illusion and identifies himself with the physical body. Now this is why you see the checkered floor in music all the time, because they're using music to produce illusions. This is a blueprint to produce a temple, and these are the tools to create the temple. Not a physical temple, a temple within our own mind. These tools represent the tools to reconstruct our inner world, to change our belief system, limiting beliefs and mental blockages. We must build a temple in the three aspects of our consciousness: thought, emotion, action. Once we have reconstructed and built a temple of moral law and integrity and changed our belief systems within our own mind and consciousness, we can then start the journey to enlightenment. This ladder is the ladder of climbing to higher consciousness, going from the illusion of the material world up to enlightenment and understanding higher levels of reality. And no, I'm not a Freemason, I've just studied their symbols. When you can read symbolism, it will change your life. You are not your body, you are the soul. Just like the sun gives life to the earth, your soul gives life to your body. As above, so below. And you're still trapped in the womb. When the baby becomes aware that there's a life outside of its mother, it seeks a way out into the world. It's the same with your soul. When your mind becomes aware of a world beyond this world, you seek a way out. This is what you call a spiritual awakening. You will never die. Your soul is on a journey of expansion and creativity. Every ending is just a new beginning. The purpose of life is down to these two things. Creation, it's impossible for you not to create. And learning, it's impossible for you not to learn. Your soul will continue to expand and learn for eternity. Stop being afraid of death. You die every single night and wake back up. It's just a microcosm of the macrocosm. Why is it the Vatican shows so many snake symbols? Even the Pope uses this. Even Alfa Romeo uses this symbol. This is why Eve gets tempted by a snake. Snakes represent sexual energy. This energy cultivates and transforms your child body into an adult, and it can transform you into a god. In order for creation, there must be destruction. Every time you release, you're giving your life force to create another life. You give a part of your soul to create another life. Your sexual energy is the power of creation. You can save it, cultivate it, and activate your Kundalini, which will then activate dormant brain cells, allowing your brain to process information with more efficiency and faster. Or you can save it and redirect it into other aspects of your life. Critical thinking, manifestation, and chasing your goals. Sexual emotions are the most powerful emotions you could possibly feel, but don't let the snake eat you, because this is what stops you from reaching high states of consciousness and stops you from reaching your highest potential and creating abundance in your life. This is symbolic of giving in to our sexual urges, which make us fall from the Garden of Eden, our highest potential of human consciousness. Don't fall for the illusion of the material pleasures. We need to stop misusing the power of creation. My students are learning sexual alchemy in my university. Jesus will never save you, you have to save yourself. Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? Okay, and then Matthew 21:12 says Jesus went into the temple of God, which means he went within himself to meet with God, and that's what you must do. The side of your head is called a temple because you connect with consciousness with God within yourself. You have to save yourself. Praying to a man in the sky will never ever save you. Ever wondered why your middle finger's considered swearing? There's a hidden element that they've hid from you called ether. 5 points on the body, 5 elements. 5 fingers, 5 elements. They demonized your middle finger because it's ether. But what exactly is the ether? Ether is like the blueprint to all physical creation. They covered up the ether by calling it dark matter. It's where all energy comes from and returns back to. Think of it as an eternal eternal water of life feeding everything with energy. Yes, the ether can provide free 0-point energy, but that is not the biggest secret. The biggest secret about the ether is that our minds can manifest whatever we project into it into a reality. This is what the Matrix is showing you with these codes. You can change the codes to reality by changing your inner consciousness. The ether acts as a barrier from the imagination plane, astral, into the physical plane. Just look at the words that we use. Together. Ether. There's so much more that goes into this. Make sure to follow me. 3 meals a day is keeping you stuck in your lower 3 energy centers, trapping your body in survival mode. It's important that we fast. When we fast, our body starts to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. If you have issues with your body, listen up. If you cut your finger, your body heals it and produces a scab. If we keep picking the scab, it will never heal. Your body's issue is not healing because it's fighting off the toxins that you place in it every single day. Instead of fighting the problem with your body, it's fighting off the poison you keep placing in it. If you avoid unnatural food, the body will then start to fight off the problem that's already in it. This is why fasting is important. Our digestion uses a lot of energy. Fasting allows the energy used for digestion to be redirected to fight off the problem. The human body is made with self-regenerating technology. It's the most advanced piece of technology on the earth. If you want to heal fast, cut out all the unnatural GMO foods and go on an alkaline diet. P.S. This is not health advice, this is what I do personally. Physical is phi cycle. The phi symbol is the Torus field. We live in a cycle of an electromagnetic field. Birth, growth, decay, and death. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Morning, afternoon, evening, night. Everything comes out of the ether and returns back to the ether. That's why death has ether within it, because your soul came through the ether and then you will return back through the ether. Back to your astral light body. Your soul goes back to the ether every night when you go to sleep. That's why sleep is the cousin of death, because sleep is just a microcosm of this macrocosm cycle. Day and night, summer, winter, everything is just a cycle of the atom and how energy works. That's why blood leaves the heart and returns back to the heart. Just like how the heart's energy field leaves the heart and goes back to the heart. Because the heart is an infinite energy source. Heart rearranged is ether. Your heart speaks the language of the universe, energy. You never actually die, your soul lives forever. However, we need to detach from every addiction we have before we die.
Book of Wisdom.
The baphomet is not evil, it's a complete misunderstanding. First of all, the baphomet is a symbol. Symbols are neutral. It's your mind's perception that gives it a positive or a negative charge. So Christians, don't come after me for this. First of all, we have the 4 physical elements which represent the 4 bodies of your soul. We have fire, which is our spirit, wings for the air, which is our mind, the dome for earth, which is our body, and the fish scales for water, which is our emotion. Then we have the moon below and the moon above. The moon represents our emotion, our psyche. Do we have control over our psyche, over our emotion, which is the moon below? Or is our emotion controlling us, which is the moon above? Then we have as above, so below. Changing our... They keep you stuck in your left hemisphere of the brain. The right hemisphere is to do with creativity, intuition, and visualization. Instead, they want you to think logically. The eyes are a part of the brain. They produce the visual field. The brain then creates the perception of the visual field. For example, if you're in a woods, the right hemisphere sees a holistic view of reality. It sees the woods as one entity. The left hemisphere analyzes and breaks down the perception created by the right hemisphere, meaning it's breaking down the woods into individual trees and branches. So they want you stuck in your left hemisphere so you do not see the connections between the external world and your body and your consciousness. John 21:6, cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish. This is symbolic for moving your perception into the right hemisphere of the brain to see a unified perception of reality, to see the links between all things. For example, how you have 5 fingers, 5 points on the body for the 5 elements. In school, you are told
to think logically. You're told what to do. You cannot create. You cannot use the right hemisphere. Spotify, Apple Music, and all of the music is tuned to 440 Hz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of the brain. Your mind is not your brain. The brain's the computer. Your mind's the invisible intelligence controlling the brain. If you want to learn more, the link is in the bio for the book of... Second, they get onto your body. Thirdly, they get inside of the body. This is a war for your soul, and the battleground is in your mind. Most people don't know how to breathe. When we breathe, our lungs produce DMT. This is known as the spirit molecule, hence why the word spirit in Latin means to breathe. When we breathe properly, we gain a deeper connection with our spirit self because it activates the crystals which are on our pineal gland. The pineal gland is a radio receiver for our non-physical form. You become more conscious the deeper and the more you breathe, and you're increasing a connection with your spirit. You should never breathe through the mouth. Only breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. When we breathe, we send new energy, new air into the brain, activating the pineal gland and the hypothalamus. When these are fully activated, we become conscious of the unconscious. We gain the ability to see beyond what we can physically see. Try out this breathing exercise. Breathe deeply in through the nose, into your stomach and not your lungs. Push the breath down into your stomach. Breathe as deep as possible until your lungs are full. Breathe out through the mouth slower than you breathed in. Do this for 15 minutes and...
Porn is destroying your life. All of your energy is being wasted. You have dark eye bags. You have no confidence. You have no drive, no passion. This is all because you're squandering your most essential energy. And not only that, all of the minerals that the semen contains can create a whole new human being. So imagine if you kept the minerals within you. Your skin would glow. You'd be healthier. Your stem cell production would be through the roof. Your cellular repair will go through the roof. Your body will heal quicker. You will feel confident. You'll have more energy. People will notice you. You will become magnetic if you stop. You will feel unstoppable. The best thing you can do as a man is control your lust and have self-control, self-discipline, and watch your life completely change. Your consciousness will completely shift and your physical body will become unstoppable.
There is a hidden meaning behind the Queen's Jubilee ceremony. She started the ceremony by walking on the red carpet, which symbolizes the root chakra at the base of the spine. She ignites the ball and it lights up the box. It then activates the lights, which are in the shape of the Ida and the Pingala, the Kundalini channels on the spine. The lights then reach a tree in the shape of a pine cone, which symbolizes the pineal gland in the center of the brain. This ritual is metaphorical for the Kundalini awakening of the pineal gland. When we transmute our sexual energy and raise this energy to the pineal gland, it electrically stimulates the crystals on the pineal gland. It is said to unlock the God consciousness as it activates 100% of the brain. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is the central nervous system. Adam being the male, the left hemisphere, Eve being the right hemisphere, the female. The serpent in the tree symbolizes the sexual energy. The most potent emotion a human can feel is the sexual desire, and this is the serpent tempting you. This is why you hear the myths of the gods fighting the dragons or serpents. It's all a metaphor for the internal.
Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Heel is hell, the root chakra. Head is heaven, earth rearranged is heart. The three parts of the brain control the three sections of the body. Depending on which brain is dominant, you are either manifesting heaven or hell. If you're thinking with your gut area all the time, you are manifesting hell. The devil has goat features, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is an air animal. The angel is your higher self, the devil is the lower self. Hence why the devil is red, because red is the lowest vibrational color. The devil is the deveiling, because you are mental, astral, etheric and physical. You are deveiling yourself by sitting in the lower states of consciousness. The body does not live, it is only maintained by the consciousness that is within it. And this consciousness is either operating in hell or heaven, depending on the three brains that you use dominantly. You descended from spirit into matter. Now you need to go back up to your true spirit form and move up the stairway to heaven, which is your spine. They've externalized it and turned it into a religion to hide the true power of yourself. The square symbolizes the physical plane. The triangle is the etheric plane and the circle is the eternal plane. You need to think outside the box. The box is the cross unfolded. the cube, the physical world. The Christians believe 144,000 will go to heaven. This is actually a frequency you need to achieve to go from the root to the crown chakra. They are trapping your soul in the earth. It's a soul system, not a solar system. We start in the stars and we descend through the 7 planets, which give you the 7 chakras, the 7 colors, 7 days of creation, the 7 days of the week, Saturday for Saturn, Monday for the moon, Sunday for the sun. This is where we come from, unconditioned consciousness. Our consciousness falls and conditions into these states to be created in this world. Each one of us is a star. Q, man, light manifested in physical form. That's why we say sister, mister, monster, stir is star. And when you're famous, you're a star. Ancient paintings of Jesus show a star being descended down. Now you know the real reason why Paramount show the stars descending down, going to the mountain. Freemasons show the path back to the stars. Each one of us is God experiencing himself in a divided state. But the archons in this world brainwash your mind to trap your soul in here. When you learn the language of symbolism, your life will completely change. Emotions are not what you've been taught. Your whole life you probably think emotions are just chemical reactions in your brain. This is nothing but a complete lie. What your emotions actually are is the language of your soul. Your soul speaks to you through emotion. When you feel sad and depressed, this is because you're not living in your authentic soul purpose. You're not doing what you're meant to be doing in this physical life. Life is much deeper than you think. The emotional intelligence within you is encoded with God's law of goodness. When you hurt someone, you can feel it within your heart and soul. The emotions are always telling you what is right and what is wrong. And when you follow your heart, this is how you find your true purpose in this life.
There's a secret code behind every ancient Christian painting. You're probably not going to be a Christian after watching this. When we add spheres to each one of these points on this Holy Trinity painting from the 1600s, what it actually shows is the Kabbalah tree. This is literally undeniable. You cannot not see it once you see it. Religious texts are encoded esoteric scriptures. In fact, every religion we have today stems back to the secret teachings of the Kabbalah. You think you're the body. We are not our body. We are not our thoughts. We are the soul. We have a soul, mind, and body. Jesus is the body. The Father is the mind. The soul is the Holy Spirit.
Apples are torus field. Physical matter is a result of 2 opposing forces equalized on the plane of inertia, which is planet Earth, a flat plane. They want you to believe everything is physical when it's actually holographic. You descended from spirit to matter. You bit the forbidden fruit, the apple, the torus field, and incarnated into physical matter. The apple is the torus field, the home screen is the torus field. Apple Watch has the seed of life, which is a top-down view of a torus field. The word physical is phi cycle. The phi is the torus field. It's the cycle of the torus field. Earth, growth, decay, death, back into counter space and repeat. Infinity symbol comes from the torus field, which is the number 8. God, Allah, Elohim adds up to 8 because in John 1:5 it says God is light. The torus field is 1 unit of light. Everything is created out of light. Life is light. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. John 1:4. The outforce, male. The in-force, female. The atom that creates this reality is dualistic, hence why everything has 2 sides, good, evil, fun and boredom. The torus field is red and blue. Why do you think everything's red and blue? Roses are red, violets are blue. You chose to incarnate into physical matter. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding or standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. You feel hungry? This is not hunger. It's your body getting rid of waste from the colon. It's important that you fast. After 48 hours of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate itself. Your body will start to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. The human body is an electromagnetic technological machine. Every cell in your body conducts electricity. You need electrical food that's grown under the electric sun because you are an electrical battery. The sun's electric power is crystallized within the food. You are a light being, a hue meaning light and a man meaning manifested. You are light manifested. This is real food. You need electric food to charge your electric body. You don't need dead flesh. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're an electric battery. And when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This field shows sickness before your physical body is actually sick. The strength of your field has a correlation with your health. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. You need positive thoughts and emotions to strengthen this field. If you want to learn more, this book will tell you everything. Sex is sacred energy exchange. Your DNA and energy is exchanged, creating an emotional bond on the astral plane, which connects your soul with their soul, their emotions with your emotions. Don't have sex with just anyone. Their trauma and emotions can affect you. Sex is a sacred ritual which invokes a soul into the physical world, because the woman holds a portal and the man holds the key to open the portal from the astral into the physical plane. Performing sex with a negative mindset will invoke a negative soul. You must perform the ritual properly. Don't waste your sexual energy. This energy creates a human life. Transmute it to create something else. You shouldn't release unless you're making a baby. Releasing is making you mineral deficient and flooding your brain with dopamine, which is the brain's reward system. Releasing is tricking yourself that you've achieved something. This is why you have no drive, no passion, no energy, because you're tricking your brain that you've achieved something already. Women store DNA from every man they've made love with, which could even affect their offspring. In order for creation, there must be destruction. The woman goes through pain to give birth to a beautiful child. Every time you release, you're killing your creativity, your drive. Don't have sex with just anyone, and don't release your fluids. Mineral deficiency is linked to balding. I'll see you inside of Ethereal University. If you join now, you get a free sexual alchemy course before the price goes. Why is it the ancients always wore silver? This is gonna blow your mind. Your brain and your body is a bioelectric system. Your body is basically a technological machine which serves as an interface that allows consciousness to interact with the 3D world. Your body's flow of ions and electrons helps to ensure that your body's bioelectric machinery operates harmoniously and supports vital functions, which is why the ancients wore silver and precious metals, because they enhance the flow of ions and electrons, which can enhance the flow of electricity within your body, making your brain to process information quicker. You are an electromagnetic machine. The human body is a battery. This is why we have to charge ourselves constantly with energy. Silver is said to be one of the best energy conductors. Silver has the ability to minimize electrical resistance, which improves cellular communication and energy flow. This is the original reason why humans used to wear jewelry, not to enhance our looks, but to enhance the functions of our electrical bodies. If you have neck, wrist, or ankle pain, you would wear a specific metal around this area.
When the sun enters Aries, this is when nature springs back to life, symbolizing the start of a new life. The Passover is celebrated by the Jews and they eat lamb, because this is when the sun has now passed over the winter and hit Aries, the lamb. Christians celebrate Easter, which is the resurrection of Jesus. Jesus is the sun, hence why he has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs, 4 gospels for spring, summer, fall and winter. Jesus is known as the light of the world, the Son of God. They want us out of rhythm with nature. This is why they changed the new year to be in Capricorn when everything is dead, and then created April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day is the real new year. 6. The cube has 6 sides, and this is the geometric shape which gives rise to matter. Everything inside of the physical world has 6 sides: up, down, right, left, back and forward. We live in a 3-dimensional physical world where everything has 6 sides. The cross of Jesus is an unfolded cube. In Mecca, they worship the black cube, and the famous toy of Jack in the Box. Cube symbolizes the physical plane, the triangle symbolizes the ethereal plane. In order to project our consciousness outside of the physical plane, where we are not bound by time, space and matter, you have to think outside the box. It's truth in plain sight. We are Jack in the Box. The North Pole of Saturn, you have the cube. Add up all the sides, it creates a 6-pointed star with 6 mini triangles and 6 sides, 666. We are created out of carbon, and carbon is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. The body is the mark of the beast, because this is the mark of time, space, and matter. Our consciousness is hexed into time, space, and matter. And that's why the Bible says Satan, who is the god of this world. Satan is Saturn. Saturn is the god of this world. Saturn is pretty much the computer that we are in. Your electromagnetic field creates your physical reality. This means your external world is a reflection and a physical manifestation of your internal mental and emotional state. This is why your life is hell. Because you've been taught that your emotions are something that should be reactive, when in fact you should be choosing the emotions you feel so that you manifest the emotion that you feel in your external world. Because by feeling that emotion, you become that vibration. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You attract whatever vibration that you are. By combining your electric thoughts and magnetic emotions to feel something before you have it, this is how you become that vibration. You become our reality, our perception. They called flesh meat. They called rotten milk cheese. If you want to upgrade your health, think positive, feel positive, charge your body on the earth every single day, listen to positive frequencies, cut out the demonic music, and eat vegetables and fruits raw. Chestnut mushrooms, alkaline, these grow in the wild. Potatoes are man-made GMOs, unnatural. Butternut squash is alkaline. Courgettes, alkaline. Spinach is acidic, this is unnatural. Carrots are unnatural, they are acidic. Green peas, these are unnatural, acidic. Sweet corn, unnatural, this is a GMO. Lettuce, unnatural, man-made, acidic. Dates are natural, alkaline, very good for the blood. Apples are natural, they are alkaline. It's 1 o'clock and this is the first meal of the day. Have some dates, watercress, apples, cayenne pepper for blood circulation, sea moss for every mineral the body needs. And this is how to eat an alkaline electrical diet. The body runs off electricity, the cells need electric. This is feeding me power and electricity and getting every mineral the body needs. You don't need dead flesh for your protein. This is very good for muscles. Dates, watercress, good for detoxification. Apples, good for the digestive system and your teeth and your gum health. This is how to thrive. Freemasons wear the M symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is the mother. This is why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter. Once you're made into matter, she delivers the male. Women hold a stargate within them. Everyone in this world has come through the mother into matter. This is why the female is so important. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0's the woman, the 1's the male. The male is the master over the physical world. This is why he is strong. The female is the master of the spiritual world. This is why she is very intuitive and sensitive to energy. The male is electric. This is a penetrating force. Female is magnetic. She attracts. Electric and magnetic, electromagnetism. If you understand electromagnetism, you understand everything. Everything is electromagnetic. It is the real atom. The 7 planets are gods. They are not spinning balls in space. They are lights within the firmament. The 7 planets give you the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 chakras. Low vibrating light turns into matter, high vibrating matter turns into light. The 7 planets give their lights onto the earth and they create the 7 metals. This is why the 7 metals have the same symbols for the 7 planets. Sun gives you gold, the moon gives you silver, Saturn gives you lead. Elohim are the 7 planets. The Bible says, the Elohim, let us make humans in our image and after our likeness. The 7 energies give us 7 vices to operate in this soul system. Sun, the life giver. Mercury, the intellect. The moon, emotive. Saturn, structure and discipline. The 7 Jewish candlestick are the 7 planets. Revelation 1:20, the 7 stars are the 7 angels of the churches. Job 38:32, do you know the audience of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? The heavens rules over the earth. Judaism is the worship of Saturn. This is why they worship their god on Saturn Day. Christianity is a sun cult. This is why they worship their god on Sunday and has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. This book's called the Book of Wisdom. The link is in the bio for the PDF or the paperback. There is worldwide shipping.
physical and the spirit realms. Jesus in French is I am. The letter I is the number 1, which is one line. Inside of you is your internal invisible self, your invisible intelligence where your insight is created. Our consciousness, our invisible intelligence is God. This is why the ancient Christians show God is in the middle of the brain. The body and the physical realm is split into duality, 1 and 2. But your invisible intelligence is the 1. This is why this symbol is on the $1 bill. The 1 is in between the 2. Your invisible intelligence, the I am, your consciousness, is in between the 2 hemispheres of the earth is darkness. It produces no light. All of the light comes from above in the heavens. This is why all religions stem back to the worshipping of the stars. Without them, we would be dead. Why do you think Jesus is called the risen Saviour, the light of the world, and has 12 disciples for the 12 constellations? The sun rises every morning and saves you. He's the risen Saviour. Your body is the darkness, your consciousness is the light. Out of the darkness ye must rise upwards, one with the light and one with the stars. The emerald tablets of Thoth. Why do you think the Freemasons always show a ladder up to the celestial stars above and depict all of the light coming from above? They want you to believe this to keep you stuck down here within the darkness. The stars represent the higher realms beyond the earth. Beyond the stars is the astral plane. This is why the word astral has star within it. Change this to astronomy. Space is fake. Earth rearranged is heart. Heart means middle. This is why the Freemasons stand on the checkerboard. It represents duality, good and evil, day and night. Energy. Male and female. The moon governs liquids on the earth and in your body. This is why the tides on the ocean follow the moon. The menstrual cycle is the moonstral cycle. It takes 14 days for the moon to wax or wane to a full or new moon. It takes 14 days for the egg to become mature in the ovaries. Month is a month. The moon travels around the zodiac every 28 days. Body, mind and soul. The earth is your body, the moon is your mind, the sun is your soul. The moon is your mind. This is why we say lunatic, or in your mind you have a specific mood, which is moon. You can use the moon to your advantage. Start a new project or a new chapter in your life when there is a new moon, because then it'll be growing with you. We do not live on a spinning ball in space. Everything is divinely created. The yin and yang is the sun and the moon, the day and night, good and evil. We live in a dualistic realm, people. This book is going to give you the knowledge so that you can understand yourself and the realm you're in. Melanin is a product of the sun. Their hair grows outwards towards the sun. People's bodies are a product of the environment they live in. I am you and you are me. We are all part of an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies. The Egyptians knew this. The Ankh is the symbol for life. This is the one giving the life to all the different life forms and bodies. Every single one of you refers to yourself as I. I is the number 1, which is one line. We are all the one consciousness in different bodies. 1 is the only true number. Everything goes up in ones because we all come from the 1. The 7 colors come from the one white light. Everything is 1. You are the one observing your mind. This is your soul. Every single one of you is a soul. We are all the exact same infinite consciousness. Activating your consciousness. You're awakening your pineal gland and your spirit. Whatever you do, stop breathing. There is a hidden meaning behind this symbolism that astronauts do. Warning, this information is not for everyone and your mind might just be altered after watching this. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Your external world that you look into is actually truly internal. Light enters the eyes and it goes to the visual cortex at the back of the brain, and this is what produces the image that we see. Light is a form of wave. It is a light wave, and light waves carry information. This information is given to the visual cortex, and then the visual cortex creates the image. The information carried on the wave of light has an effect on your brain and then has an effect on the whole of your central nervous system and your cells. This is why you feel darkness within you when you see something very sensitive. Because what we see, hear and say has an effect on our whole central nervous system and our cells. So this is why you should never speak, see or hear no evil. There is a hidden meaning behind Easter. Warning, if you believe in Christianity, you might not believe it after this video. Easter is not the resurrection of Jesus, it's the resurrection of the sun turning into spring. The winter time is symbolized as death because everything dies in the winter. When the sun enters Aries, this is the lamb, which is the Lamb of God. Everything springs back to life and arises. Aries is an anagram for arise. The Jews call this the Passover because the sun has now passed the winter and entered Aries. This is why they sacrifice the lamb. Aries, the spring, is the true New Year's, and this is when Ramadan is celebrated. Ramadan, Ra, is the Egyptian sun god. As within, so without. What happens outside of you happens within you. You must raise the solar plexus energy to the brain. And this is when you arise to Aries. This then creates the resurrection of Christ, which is Christ consciousness, which is activating the pineal gland to create enlightenment. And this symbolizes your life going from the winter into the summertime. New light, new beginnings. You are born again. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. Santa going up and down the chimney. This is also mentioned in the Bible in John 3:14. Just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted. This is the snake, raising the sun, the fire, from the base of the spine to the brain. And this is the true Antichrist, keeping the knowledge of the Christ, the oil that must be raised, to the brain through the Kundalini awakening. Because they don't want us to unfold our body, the 666 carbon suit. And then blinds your mind. Your mind is completely separate from the physical world. Through physical pleasures and lack of understanding of yourself, you think your mind is part of your physical body, when in reality they are two separate things. Your mind is completely separate from your physical body. The physical world is a dimension within your mind. Men means mind, mental. Mind in Latin means mens. In order to escape the three-dimensional physical world, you have to fully detach your mind from your body. Meditation is key in transcending the 3D world and traveling the depths of your mind. Mind and matter is one. They are different dimensions within your mind. When you dream, your mind creates matter. This is why mind and matter are one. The cube is the shape that gives rise to physical matter. Good and evil is the nervous system because it gives your soul the knowledge of good and evil. You are a soul and mind in the center of the brain. The all-seeing eye is your consciousness, your soul, because it's the observer of all things. It sees everything the mind is thinking. It sees all of the emotions you're feeling right now, and it sees with the two eyes. It's the all-seeing eye between the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. So basically, you are consciousness experiencing a program being ran by the central nervous system. In fact, you're not even seeing into reality. Light is sucked through the black holes of the eyes and an image is produced at the back of the brain. So everything is a projection from within yourself. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit. Always a trinity because you are a soul, mind and body. Soul is the watcher, the mind is the projector, projecting the soul into different realities, and the body is the body you inhabit when you project yourself. Brahma has many different heads because the soul inhabits different bodies. The mind connecting the soul to the body. The serpent symbolizes knowledge for the mind. Matthew 6:22, the light of the body is the eye. Therefore, if thine eye be single, thy whole body should be full of light. You are the entity inside of the brain. You are living in the black cube matrix of Saturn. There is a deep meaning behind these black cubes you see in every major city. On the North Pole of Saturn, there is a hexagon, which is a cube. In your external reality, Saturn rules the roots of trees, bones, and underlying frameworks. Saturn is the god of conditions and limitations. This is why he's known as the god of time, because time is a limitation. Your physical body is a limitation for your infinite mind. Mind can project into the future and go backwards into the past. Your body cannot because it's stuck to the three-dimensional world. The mind can expand into infinite fields of thought. There's nothing impossible with your mind. The energy of Saturn is being abused to condition your consciousness into a physical low state, trapping your mind in a three-dimensional way of thinking. Do this through religion, hence why all religions have symbolism of Saturn. They condition your mind through the educational system, hence why you wear a black cube on your head. This is why a judge wears a black robe to enforce limitation and laws. Black represents Saturn. It represents dense, cold matter and limitation, sinking together to create grey matter in the brain, which is the Christos, the Kundalini, which goes down the spine. Resurrection. Res is resh, meaning head. Erection is the pylo-erection. If you cannot create a pylo-erection by will, you cannot raise your Kundalini. If you can generate these goosebumps by will, you will feel a tingling sensation in the brain, which will then spread down the body. Use your mind to focus on this energy, this tingling sensation at the base of the spine, and raise it up to the brain again. You'll then feel your brain become hollow and filled with tingling sensations and light. It's one of the most divine experiences you could ever have. Oh, look at my skin. There's no goosebumps, nothing. This is all clear. Now watch this. This is mental control over the electric nervous system in the brain, sending electrical currents through the body. The tingling sensation you feel is the increase in brain activity. If you can't do it by will, you can practice this because it is a muscle. You can use frequencies as well to activate them. And when you feel the tingling sensation coming, you need to hold on to it and raise it from the base of the spine up to the brain.
The ego is your mind's perception of yourself while you have been incarnated into a physical body. Who you think you are is basically a bunch of programs that you have created over the years through emotions and repetition of thoughts. You need to understand that the universe is mental. Everything exists within your mind. The mind's the root cause of all things, hence why the word government. They govern your mind. Ment is mind. The programs within your subconscious mind manifest 90% of your behavior, thoughts, and actions on a daily basis. So in order to change your life, you need to access your subconscious mind and rewrite the programs. All of the systems in your body are being ran without your mind being conscious of it. This is because the subconscious mind is controlling all of the heartbeats, the breathing, and the digestive systems. The Egyptians, Mayans, and ancient Christians all knew the power of astrology. They used astrology to foretell the future and to gain deeper connections with themselves. Why do you think Jesus has 12 disciples, 12 archangels in the book of Enoch, 12 imams of Shia? Because they all represent the 12 zodiac constellations. Even JP Morgan said that millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. When you are born, you are given a celestial blueprint because you were born into a specific alignment in the stars. This blueprint tells you everything about you and your future. If you want to get your most in-depth reading of 350 plus pages, the link is in the bio.
You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because the heart and the brain are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think creates an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network of 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same ones in your brain. So the heart is your second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause confusion and dualism. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the brain. However, it's a singular organ. It does not have two hemispheres. So when we say follow your heart, this is a deep meaning because the heart has an intelligence of its own which is guiding you. And this is why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. In Freemasonry, the heart is symbolized as the book because the heart intelligence is what you need to read to guide you through this life experience. The heart is what tells you what is right and what is wrong. And when you follow your heart long enough, it takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to listen to your heart intelligence. You have to turn off the thoughts, place your hand on your heart just like Jesus is, and this will tell you the right answer. They don't want us connected to our hearts on the rotating fields of magnetism. Sound creates magnetic fields create electricity. The sound of you talking creates torus fields, which permeates the whole of creation. Everything manifests as a torus field. Literally everything, including yourself. Your heart is a vortex, and the pulsing sound of it creates this electromagnetic torus field around your body. If you looked down on this electromagnetic field, you'd see the flower or the lotus of life, which is the Fibonacci sequence. This field spirals inwards into the head and out on the feet or the torso. If you look down on your head, this is why you see this spiral. It comes from all of the spiraling of your electromagnetic field coming in the head, which is the crown chakra. Look at the symbol for the crown chakra. It's the flower, which has the same pattern as this. Your spirit is a spiral, a spiraling electromagnetic field. The Fibonacci sequence connects the macrocosm to the microcosm because this will go for infinity. This means you are a microcosm of the macrocosm. You are God made. Thing you say as truth. When you use these words, your subconscious mind is picking it up as truth. When you say something is good and say it's sick, you're calling yourself sick. Or bless is be less. Words are encoded and they have secret meanings. Veganism saving me. God is good. Listen is silent and love is evil. You can't do this with the ancient languages. This is why they changed it. Because the Bible tells you death and life are in the power of the tongue. Because when you talk, you create torus fields, which is an electromagnetic wave. We actually live in cycles, which is a circle. The sun and the moon is the yin and the yang on the flat earth. The psych L is the L, which is the 12th letter, which is the 12 zodiacs. This is the cycle, the circle that we live in. Whatever you do, stop consuming seed oil.
Particles do not exist, only electromagnetic fields. This is why nature is electromagnetism. Atoms are actually electromagnetic toroidal fields. At the center of every torus field there is a black hole and a white hole. White hole is white light, which is magnetism, which splits into two electrical components. The white light gives birth to redshift, which is explosiveness out of counter space, which manifests into the male action taker, the outforce. Once the spiraling field loses its momentum, it seeks back into rest, which is blue shift, which manifests as the female, which is the in-force. This is seeking safety. Physical matter, what we see, is a result of these two forces equalized on the plane of inertia, which gives you planet Earth. Yes, it's a flat plane. The magnetic light creates the two electrical effects, red and blue. This is why everything is red and blue. Red and blue pill on the matrix, red and blue tap, red and blue siren. Roses are red, violets are blue. Magnetism radiates outwards. It's pure. It does not have a vibration. But the effect of this radiating force creates an electrical vibration. Now, all vibrations have to come back to a standstill point like a guitar string. This is why our physical bodies die, because it contains of electricity. Electricity is mortal. Magnetism is immortal. By believing in physical particles, they've tricked your mind into a physical universe.
Your phone takes an infrared photo of you every 3 to 5 seconds. Your phone screens, TV screens, and computer screens all give off blue light, which creates permanent retina. No external world. Your consciousness is experiencing a program being ran by the brain and central nervous system. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of the central nervous system's electrical impulses. The vision that you see is produced in the visual cortex in your brain. It's because the universe is a mental projection. The mind is personified as the Garden of Eden in the Bible, and in the Garden of Eden there are the two trees. The tree of life, which is the cardiovascular system, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the central nervous system. This gives your body the life. This gives you the knowledge of good and evil. The power symbol is the brain and spine, because the brain is what runs this simulation to your consciousness. It's a central processing computer. This is why the ancients personified God inside of the brain, touching Adam. Adam means the body. God is your consciousness. This is why your head is called a temple. The temple. Tem is a place of worship. El is an ancient Canaanite name for God. This is why Jesus says the kingdom of God is within you. This is why the Bible teaches not to love this world, and this world is not the true world, because heaven is the true reality, which is the reality of your mind. That's the true realm. The word Lucifer also means the bright star. He fell from heaven. Now the star is your 5-pointed star, which represents you, your 5 senses. So when you let your 5 senses rule over your mind and your consciousness, this is when you fall from heaven. There is no external world. The Bible is written in metaphors, and everything is internal. Everything exists within your mind. You do not want to get an electric car. The EMF frequencies they produce harm the cells in your body and create inflammation. Secondly, it destroys your electromagnetic field, which is your shield against diseases and negative energy. Your physical health is a product